Okay guys, today the Dually is getting an LED overhaul in the rear. I've already done a whole bunch of lights up front. I got the front all lit up. Now it's time to focus on the rear here, which is probably one of the more important areas, because if you can't see where you're backing up, bad things can happen. So we're going to get this rear end lit up. I've got some lights for the bumper. I've done that before. You guys have seen, actually the old bumper that I had on this thing had lights in it. And I really miss them, so we're going to bring them back. And I've got some LED bulbs for the factory taillights. So let me show you what I've got. Okay guys, so I got some stuff here, all from JDM Astar. We've got some 3157 LED backup bulbs here. These are direct replacement, pop right in the factory socket. These are going to be an easy upgrade. I'll have all the information in the description of this video, guys, on what bulbs these are and where exactly you can get a set for yourself. Okay, so next up is the lights that are actually going in the bumper. Now these are I guess what people call pods, and you can see these ones here have kind of like a mounting plate on the front, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to mount them using these 4 holes up front. We're going to recess these into the bumper. And again, I'll have all the information on these lights in the description, guys. I believe these are 18 watt lights. These are a floodlight. They got 6 LEDs in each one. Aluminum housing, pretty sure. And then you've got a little bit of wire here to hook it up. Positive, negative. Real simple, guys. Also with these lights, if you don't want to recess them, they do have these mounts and mounting hardware, so you can actually mount these like a regular light. But like I said, I'm going to recess these in, so we're going to be using this front mounting holes. So enough of the babbling here. We are going to start installing stuff. Okay guys, for the replacement bulbs, it's as simple as 2 screws, most taillights come out fairly easily on all vehicles. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have these sockets that you unlatch and pull out. Okay, so you got your bulb and your socket there. You just pull it out. You're going to put the new one in. And remember that LED bulbs are polarity sensitive, so before you close this up, you want to hit your reverse and make sure that they are working. Okay, one other thing I like to do is put a little dielectric grease in a socket anytime you unplug a bulb. And then we're going to stick the bulb back into the housing. We're going to click lock it, and it's locked in. We're going to button everything back up, and we're going to have a much brighter backup bulb. So there's the one installed. Compare it to the old light. Really yellow, the halogen is. and the LED is nice and white. So we'll get the other one installed. Same procedure. Okay, so one thing I wanted to show you on these bulbs, you can see the wires that come out that connect into the socket. You can see how heavy duty them wires are. I mean, usually you go on eBay, you get some bulbs, and that wire is so thin that comes out of there. Even a halogen bulb, you see how thin them wires are compared to the stuff that was coming out of that JDM bulb? Really nice. Really nice. I like to see that. Oh yeah, guys. She's getting a little better. Right, buddy? Okay, so I'm figuring on where to cut the hole in this bumper. And one thing you guys want to keep in mind when you're installing lights and bumpers is you want to look behind your bumper to make sure there's not braces or brackets or whatever behind the area that you're going to put your light in, because if you put your light in and it hits, or you can't get to it, or you can't mount it up, you've just ruined your bumper if you cut a big hole that you can't use. So always, this goes for anything, no matter what you're doing. If you're cutting a hole in something, look behind where you're going, guys, so you don't wreck something or destroy something. So you got to do a little planning when you're doing something like this. I've got some lines marked out, some measurements. I'm trying to get the hole. There's a brace in here, and there's really only one spot on this bumper that can handle this light. So I'm trying to get it as exact as I can here, because this light needs a 3" by 3 1/4" hole to be able to slide through here. Like I said, there's a bracket back here, and it's got to be pretty precise. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out my 4 corners, and then I'm going to get my cutoff wheel, and we're gonna attach or connect the lines to cut this hole out. So I'm going to get my drill out, and we're going to do the 4 corners. Okay, so we made a nice big hole here in my really nicely painted bumper. So I got the light here. Let's give her a try. Okay, so she fits in there pretty good. The bumper is not flat, so I may make myself a gasket or a piece of rubber to go behind this. I'm not sure yet, but we've got a nice hole here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to mark out my holes, my 4 mounting holes that I'm going to mount this up with. I've got some stainless stainless bolts with the little Allen heads to kind of match the ones that are here. And we'll get this thing mounted up. Okay guys, quick tip. Having trouble getting a nut on two of the bolts on those lights. I can't get my fingers in there to hold the nut because there's a brace in the way on the bumper. So little quick tip here is, if you have that problem, take your nut, stick it on your wrench, take a piece of tape, stick it on your wrench there. That'll hold the nut in place. You can slide your wrench into the area that your fingers won't fit and get your nut started. Really handy tip. Used it many times and saved me many times. So that's the quick tip for the day. Okay, so we got one installed there. So I'll go on to the next one. I didn't make a gasket for the back of the light. I just used some silicone to go around the back side and where I cut. So I think that'll be good enough. That'll keep the salt and dirt and stuff out of the places that I cut the paint off. And I've done that before. It seems to work out really well. So on to the other side. Okay, so I got my plan over here all made up, and I got my helper here. Okay, so the reason I've got this tape on my bumper is it's gonna help keep the paint from flaking and chipping off as I'm drilling and grinding on this bumper. I've painted this bumper, so it's got paint on it. A chrome bumper, you're not going to be chipping or flaking any paint, but a good idea for using the tape on a chrome bumper is just like I got here. I can easily write on here, easily see the lines I need to cut it. So I've got this all laid out now. I'm going to do like I did before, drill my 4 corners out. Then I'm going to connect the holes with my grinder. Okay, so now we're going to do the wiring. And from what I can see, the wires on this are fairly small. I'm not sure what gauge they are. So apparently these don't draw a ton of power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into my reverse lights. We're going to give that a try and see if I can't run these lights off just the reverse lights. And these are LED, so I'm hoping that they don't draw that much power. And like I said, the size of this wire is telling me they don't draw a lot of power. So I'm going to get to wiring that up, and I'll show you how I tap into the backup lights. Okay guys, quick wiring show and tell here. These are the wires coming from the passenger side light. You probably ain't gonna be able to see anything here, but there it is there. And I had to add wire to it because the looms that come with it just ain't quite long enough. Here I tapped right into the loom that come off the light. This is where I connected them together, and I got one of those weatherproof crimp connections under this tape. And then what I've done here, probably this is not the most weather tight connection you can do, but it's actually worked for me. I've done this pretty much since I had the truck. I've got this posi tap, I guess is what they call these, and you can tap into wires with them. Like I said, it's not weatherproof, but I've never really had any trouble with this connection because I've used this for my other lights, and I've used it for, I believe, my back rack. I use that connection. So that's the positive. This green wire here is the backup light. It goes into goes up into the light somewhere up there, and then the ground here is right here. Again, one of those posi taps into the ground of either the lights or the parking lights. I'm not sure. I think that might be the parking lights. The ground for the maybe the license plate lights. Anyway, it's a ground wire. I mean, you could ground it to the frame if you wanted to. I just prefer to do a wire because it's just I think it'll last longer than on the frame. So that's my wiring. I don't have any loom, so I can't really loom it up all nice. I keep forgetting to order some small 1/4 inch loom, but I gotta get some. I'll just tie these up with a couple zip ties for now until I get my loom. Okay, so another reason I like these posi taps is if I ever want to unhook my bumper from the truck, all I gotta do is unscrew the cap, pull the wire out, unscrew the cap, pull the wire out, and my wiring is free from the main wiring of the truck, so I can unhook my bumper. Well, let's see what they look like. Ooh, those are bright. Those are bright. There really is no need for even the factory backup lights with those lights. Yeah, those are going to be nice. Those are going to be nice at night. Oh, I can't wait to try them out. Well, guys, I guess that's the end of the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll get some night shots of these lights, and I will see you guys in the next one. Check this out, guys. Now that is some backup lights. You can actually see now.
Cause we thinking the same thing.